The Commissioners Court of Brazos County will meet in a workshop session. It's July 26, 2 p.m. in the County Administration Building, 200 South Texas Avenue. First item is call to order, and the second is presentation and discussion of contract with community support on proposed budget request for FY 2022-2023. And Big Brothers, Big Sisters is up first, so
Good afternoon. My name is Terry Dougherty. I'm the director of Big Brothers Big Sisters of the Brazos Valley and have been so for about 9 years. And first of all, I want to thank you for your support over the years. With your support, we've been able to grow every year. And I know that our proposal says we have 6 staff right now, but we currently just hired 2 more. So now we're up to 8 and we're very excited. This year, we're asking the county to support us with the amount of $40,000 to support our mentoring program. Earlier this month, the White House issued a paper saying that our students in this country need help, especially after COVID. They're catching up academically, actually pretty well, especially in Brazos County. Stats for the testing say that reading scores are about pre-COVID level, but math scores are not. They're lagging way behind. However, the social aspect of the students are really lagging right now post-COVID. If you talk to any teacher or administrator in our schools, you will know that last year was a pretty tough year as far as discipline in the schools. And so we know that high quality mentoring really offsets all of that negative impact that our students have experienced. We have the reputation and a quality program to attract great mentors. We're going to serve at least 300 youth again this year. In 2022, it was down a little bit during the COVID years, but we're up again. And we have a lofty goal of serving 500 youth per year by 2025. And that's why we are asking for a small increase in support from the county. We know just by looking at the juvenile justice budget and the numbers of youth that they serve, that the cost per youth who are incarcerated or who make decisions that land them in that situation are quite high. Probably 10,000 more than the cost of us to serve even one student. Our cost for the first year mentoring is about $1,000 to initiate a match and to support that match. One thing that I am most proud of is that 92% of our volunteers are still active volunteers at the end of 1 year. We have an extremely high level of commitment from our volunteers in our community. They are some students, about 40% of our volunteers are students, either undergrad or grad, but that means the rest of those volunteers are not. They're community leaders. They're people who work here and live here and who have stepped up to make a difference in a child's life. And so we greatly value those volunteers, and we greatly value your support, and I would welcome any questions that you have.
I have one. How many bigs do you have?
Right now, currently, about 140, 150 who are active.
So they're seeing 2 and 3 littles?
No, they see one at a time. So the numbers are per year. We're always opening new matches and closing others, right? So in the fall, we typically make anywhere from 60 to 80 new matches. So that number will be close over 200 by the end of October.
But you're serving 300 children.
Yeah.
So
for the total year.
Oh, so it's just one-on-one.
It's just one-on-one.
And none of the mentors have more than one student?
No, they only have one at a time. Okay. So during the course of the year, especially at the end of a school year, there are several matches that will close. Okay. But they're still counted as being served in that fiscal year.
And do you have an active recruitment to get the bigs?
We do. We have just hired somebody for marketing and recruitment, and it's interesting because you might know him. His name is Tim Gregg, And he has written about Judge Bryan recently. He wrote a book. He entered his community, and one of his references was the associate provost at A&M. And when I emailed him for a reference, he emailed me back and said, "You might think this man is very overqualified for this position," and he is. But at our age, he's not looking for a job, he's looking for a mission. And it turns out that Tim was a big brother twice in his growing up time. His wife is Nancy Curry. She's an astronaut. She's at A&M now, and she was also a big sister. And so they're committed to the program locally, and I'm so excited.
Is the $10,000 for the 2 new positions that you're filling, is that pretty much how that's justified?
It's for the total budget. As you can see, our budget has risen significantly from last year to this year. And you might say, like, how are we going to go up in such an increase right over 2 years from 270 to 362? Well, the answer is we're also expanding to serve other counties, okay? And so we are under contract with Robertson County at $50,000 a year to initiate a mentoring program there in our new after-school program. Isn't that exciting? And so they're fully funding the staff person who is going there. We're also initiating a program in Washington County. We received a sizable donation to do that. So that's a reason why our budget has increased so much. It's an exciting time.
Any other comments?
You mentioned your budget going up. I did not get a copy of your budget.
I didn't see it.
It's
All we
not.
see is our,
Request?
Yeah, it's not.
yeah.
Thank you, Nina.
That 40,000 is a different amount than the request, so, correct?
30 was last year, 40 is for this
Your
year.
Oh,
request.
40 is this year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, their
Yes.
request is
I see. Okay, thank you.
And we've already been approved for the CDBG funding.
You have been, you'll be getting the CBDG funds
Yes.
and the United Way allocation.
That's a 2-year. That's a 2-year cycle.
Occupancy is rent.
Yes.
And grants, what grants have they? Nina?
Revenues is CDBG. And I don't know if you would count United Way as a grant.
Could you scroll down to the end,
To where?
to
the
where their
bottom.
total expenses are?
What's Brazos Support Services?
We are a branch office of Big Brothers Big Sisters of South Texas. And so as a branch office, we pay them for IT support, HR support, the insurance comes through them, all the auditing and bookkeeping comes through them, payroll comes through them, administrative costs, resources, all those kinds of things. We could never do that for $15,000. So it's been a really great connection to have.
Can you explain or give some information with regards to the fundraising costs? It says 46,914.
Yes.
That's the
Mhm.
cost. That's not what's raised, right?
Right.
Can
right.
you tell us what was raised?
Well, what's budgeted to be raised is 139.
Okay, so it's budgeted. So this is not your last year's budget. We're not looking
No, this
at
is-
what you spent. This is what you plan to spend.
Right.
Okay.
I did submit last year's as
Okay,
well.
yeah,
You wanna
that's
see
good.
last year's?
Yeah, I want to see last year's,
Sorry.
please. Because the numbers or different? And I'd like to know.
Mhm.
135 from fundraising, how much was spent for
Okay. The fundraising last year
This more expensive.
was 52,
raised
135. 591.
This isn't what I have for 21, 22.
This is what was submitted.
Okay.
Okay.
I might have, okay. It sounds about right, though. I forget.
Do you want to give us copies of the,
Yes, we can.
okay,
Yeah.
because I don't want to prolong the meeting. We've got
Right,
other
right.
presenters, but if you'll
Okay.
give me, I'm interested.
We had a quite successful fundraiser in February, which was quite a relief, right, after not having fundraisers for some time. But we had 2 fundraising events in 21, 22 in that time period. We had a clay shoot and we had a dinner. And so that is a net result of those monies for just those 2 events.
Okay. All right. And your salary was 199,000
Mm-hmm.
plus.
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
So, as many of you who have been on the Commissioners Court for some time know, 9 years ago we started off in the red, negative. Our fundraising events were very modest. Our salaries were even more modest, and so as director, I'm really pleased and proud to where we have come from then to now. Both in our board, we have 10 members of our board. We have another new board member, and our staff is just outstanding.
Oh, it's a good thing you mentioned that.
Mhm.
Who's the chairperson of your board?
Hunter Shirtliff.
So your expenses are running about 30% of your fundraising efforts.
Mhm.
Well,
Which is
maybe
very
a little higher.
reasonable. Yeah,
A little higher.
yeah. We are frugal.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Terry. You do a great job.
Yeah.
You've came back in and turned the place back around. You've done a great job. Thank you. Brazos County Historical Commission. Henry.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. Henry Mayo, Brazos County Historic Commission Chairman. There's 2 members here from the commission. Sherry Frisk and Jane Cohen are here with the Never Forget Garden line item. We annually, we're about, right now, 11 appointed members, 2-year terms appointed by the commissioners. We've had a few deaths in the last few years, and plus I had 2 members that have moved out of the county and cannot be eligible as members now. I still use them as committee members, but not voting members. So we get reappointed or new appointments. Everyone sort of is up for total renewal or new members coming in at the end of this year for 2-year terms. So you'll be getting a list of nominees from us, and the public's welcome to put in for nominations on the commission also. But mainly our business is handling the historic marker applications, the Texas historic markers that come through into Brazos County. We're totally financially dependent on county commission funds. We have no fundraisers. We're a government entity. We don't have a bank account. We just get earmarked in your budget for some funds, and we don't have any carryover. So just to make that a point, our ask this year is $7,250. Last year I asked for $6,850, $400 less. The price of a Texas historic marker, the cast plaque has gone up $400, and we asked to fund one of those, which is around $2,300, $2,400 now, to either replace an existing one that has been lost to vandalism, or most commonly to tractor or traffic type incidents. We lost one at Steel Store, and I assume a farm equipment knocked it out. It was in the edge of the cornfield and lasted for many decades, but it turned up broken off, and we haven't been able to find anyone that knows where it went other than the post is still there, so we've purchased one for that. We asked for one of those in the budget, and the rest of the $3,000 or so we ask is $50 just for postage stamps and some paperwork, things like that for handling the monthly meetings. We ask for $750 to send, partially supplement to send a few members, ever how many want to go to one of the THC training sessions. They have a really good one in February each year in Austin, and this year we had 2 members go, and we gave, I think, $500 reimbursement toward that. And THC actually paid the hotel on one of the members. You can apply for that. And so the other money, we support the local museums that have exhibits on local history, which, as far as I know, it's Brazos Valley Museum of Natural History and the Brazos Valley African American Museum that have permanent local history exhibits. And so usually at the end of the year, we give basically half of what we have left over. It's usually, less than $2,000, and so we give each museum equal funding to help support those permanent exhibits on local history that they have. And we consistently keep a membership in the El Camino Real de los Tejas National Historic Trail Association, which the El Camino Real, or OSR, in our county line is a National Historic Trail, and so that organization helps with the National Park Service maintain signage and tourism brochures and things for that. And there's actually a significant site in Brazos County that we hope to develop out north of Lake Bryan, where there's pretty historic location and part of the old road bed from the 17th, 18th century. And we put in $250 just for if we print brochures, historic marker dedication pamphlets and things. This year we've actually catching up on a lot of historic marker dedication ceremonies. It's been too hot to call one for this summer, but we've got the Boonville Cemetery marker. I've installed it in June in the cemetery, and we'll be planning something in the fall or when the weather permits, a little cooler, for dedicating that and having a public event. There's going to be a fairly big public event at the Bryan Air Base. They've put the Texas Historic Marker up, but they're also putting up a statue and some other events and having some high-level VIPs come in for a big ceremony. I've been told by Kelly Templin to just, we'll have the Historic Marker dedication combined with the others so that we'll have the pretty high people there. One of the men that walked on the moon will be there. I'll just say that. And so we've got several church organizations that are either getting their monument this year, their marker, or have been approved for markers. American Legion Post, Allen Academy is working to get a replacement marker. They will fund it. The Alumni Association, I'm working with them on trying to get the federal prison to actually allow us to put one back up there in front of the old Allen Academy. The new Allen Academy location has a marker, but the older one has been removed, and we really haven't found out where. We're working with Congressman Sessions' staff to try to get at least the prison, federal prison staff to tell us what they can, if they happen to have the marker in storage, if they removed it, or what happened. It just is gone, and we have photos of it from a few years ago standing there in front of the fence, and we haven't been able to really get anyone to to answer questions. So, trying to think if there's anything else. No. Any questions?
Question?
I will say, we're asking $7,250. Traditionally, historically, you've almost always given us $5,000, which we use, and it works. We're not having any staff. There's no salary or anything that's paid. So, we'd appreciate if we can get at least the $5,000, but the little bit extra is for allowing a little bit more participation at the THC training and to pay for the increased price of a marker.
Okay,
Okay, thank you.
thank you. Henry.
Thank you.
The Brazos County Rape Crisis Center.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. I'm Lindsay LeBlanc. I'm the Executive Director at the Brazos County Rape Crisis Center, or the Sexual Assault Resource Center. So we are requesting $45,000 for this year, and that will go directly to support our counseling services, which is the majority of our services as our program. And in the application that we filled out in May, we actually noted a 43% increase in our counseling request. Since May, we have already gone up to 60% more. So we have served more clients since October than we did in our entire prior fiscal year of FY21. So this request will support our counseling program, which we do receive federal and state funds for, and this will allow us to have a cash match for that program as well. This amount, $45,000, does allow us to serve 20 clients for 1 year of counseling. So this year we've already served 388. You can see that 20 clients out of 388 is merely a drop in the bucket, unfortunately. We are seeing unfounded demand from primarily Brazos County, but also across our 7-county region, which we do serve. So we are seeing numbers that we've never seen before, and not seeing our traditional slowdown that we do during the summer when students go back home. This year, we are requesting more than we received last year, and that is primarily due to that demand, as well as the demand for increase in labor cost for post-COVID environment. Everybody's enjoying that hiring model, and so we're requesting those additional $10,000 to help us assist with that. Any questions? Yeah.
Questions?
Keep up the good work.
Thank you.
And we thank you for your service.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. We thank you guys for your continued support. We do rely heavily on the Brazos County funding for our cash match.
Okay. Thank you, Lisa. Never forget Garden Veterans Memorial. Jane.
Howdy.
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 I'm Jane Cohen, Chairman of the Brazos Valley Never Forget Garden Veterans Memorial at the Brazos Valley Veterans Park. You have our brochure, and on the back is the executive committee, and I'd like to ask them to stand up. Several members are here. And to do our presentation to you is our treasurer, Sherry Fritsch.
Good afternoon. I'm kind of new at all this, so
Could
we'll
you
see
speak
how
into
it
the
goes.
microphone?
Closer.
Yeah, if you get closer to
Closer?
it. Yeah, so we
Uh-oh.
can hear you.
I'm usually so loud that people say, "Can't you speak softer?" That's the
You
old
can speak
cheerleader in
louder.
me. Okay. As the wife of a veteran who suffered through the Vietnam War and the aftermath that followed, I feel very strongly about this Never Forget Garden Veterans Memorial in the Brazos Valley Metro, I'll get it out in a minute, Memorial area. I've got a signal with Nina. The purpose of this project is to show that this garden memorial is a symbol to show our honor and respect for the service and the sacrifice of so many unknown soldiers throughout our whole history of the United States. And this starts all the way back from the Revolutionary War, when there were over 10,000 soldiers who were buried in a mass grave. So there were so many, and that goes all the way up through the losses that we've suffered through the current day. We hope that this memorial will tie together all of the threads and unify all of the monuments in the Brazos Valley Veterans Memorial, which is an awesome place. It is a place that will also educate our younger generations for the sacrifices that have been made and the high cost of all of the freedom that these soldiers have earned for all of us. The garden will be a solemn place, and it will be not only for Brazos County residents, Bryan, College Station, it's also, I think, going to be for all the visitors. There's so many of them that come to Veterans Park for their athletic activities, and all they have to do is cross the road and they will find a wonderful place to stop and rest and contemplate those who gave not only their lives but their identities for America's freedom. We're so lucky to have this wonderful Veterans Memorial area, and if you walk up that first pathway, you come right to the Travis Bryan Pavilion. We know who he is. And right in front of the pavilion is the place where the garden site will be. And as you turn to the right off that V, you walk over to the Adam Plaza, and that's where the beautiful, huge granite memorial is for over 6,000 veterans. Outside, the locator map shows you that this is a wonderful memorial to be right at the entrance of the whole shebang. And in case there's very many of you who have not been to the Brazos Valley Memorial, Veterans Memorial, these are a few highlights. Of course, the Vietnam Memorial is fantastic, but so are all the rest of them. And we are so happy to let people know that there is just now put online a virtual tour. So you can go through and hear all about how they chose these sites, and also find the announcement for introduction to the Never Forget Garden, which will be installed hopefully soon. This is a computer-generated concept image so that people can see kind of what this garden is going to look like. The flowers and the plants will look a whole lot better than that, and it certainly won't be all gray. But the monument is 7 feet tall, and this image lets you see that there will be 2 pedestals at the entrance to the plaza, and that's where our major donors will be recognized. Already in place is the Never Forget bench that is sitting directly across from the entrance to the plaza. The original initial landscape for this was designed by Texas A&M horticulture students, and they had a very good time, and so did we, trying to figure out which one we were going to keep. This is what we all decided on, and it was introduced to the public during Veterans Day, November 11th of 2021. And that was very significant because that was the actual celebration date for the 100th anniversary of the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier. They had a big celebration in Washington, D.C. You can see this is a lot more colorful design, and you can see where the placement is of the monument, the star, and then the pedestals in the front, and the engraved pavers will be around the inside border. We were very excited when we made some news in the Eagle. We are very delighted that we've had some recognition through WTAW, KBTX. You may know some of those people in that picture right there. And we need more of this knowledge going out to the community. Patricia Gerling has been absolutely awesome. A lot of you know her through the Community Foundation of the Brazos Valley. We are fortunate to be partnering with them They are a nonprofit 501c3 charitable organization, and they have set up a special fund for us. And because of them, our little $6,000 project turned out to be a $200,000 project. So we're grateful for them to handle that amount of money. And also, they are giving us the opportunity for donations to come through by cash, check, or credit card. I'd also like to point out that we are grateful to the Independence chapter of the SAR, because they have allowed us to put our donation form and brochures on their website, so they've given us an online presence. Our first, I guess you'd call it a fundraising event, was on May 25th at the Veterans Park Pavilion, and it turned out to be quite a lot of fun. We had about 100 people there and all of the media people, and our speaker was Roy May, who is a former Aggie and also a former Sentinel for the Honor Guard of the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier. And he was tremendous in pointing out the dedication and the loyalty that these Sentinels have for the unknowns in that tomb. And they march in front of it 365 days a year in all weather conditions. So they're awesome. We have two ways of donating to this project. The first one is a pave the way to contribute. The pavers are in two sizes, 8x8 or 4x8, and the contributions are $500 or $250, and you have certain number of lines to memorialize your family or friends or veterans. Nina. Our other way of donating, we call our flag donors. We got kind of tired of the thermometer temperature thing, and so we decided we'd have flag donors. And each one of these flags represents a higher amount of donating for the Never Forget Garden. 5,000 is the Lone Star, 10,000 and up is the Stars and Stripes flag, 25,000 and up is the Betsy Ross flag, and these are actually the flags. And the Old Glory, we'd love to have an Old Glory person with 40,000 up. At this May 25th event, I had to give a report for the treasurer's report. And Rusty Surratt was our master of ceremonies for the program, and he got a big laugh when he jumped up and offered to hold the poster for me and be my Vanna White. So that was fun. We are hoping to raise this flag as soon as we can. Right now, we're also excited. We have donations and pledges of $55,451.66, or is that a 5? My glasses are getting bad. We only have 144,000 plus to go, but we're very optimistic about that, and we want to be sure it happens because it's very worthwhile. The first part of our campaign, we got some grants from the national and local garden clubs. For the May 25th event, we wanted people to be able to see the magnitude of this memorial. And it's hard to envision when you're just looking at a little picture. But the garden is 20 by 30, and it shows up very well when you have this many American flags around it. We're also helping to begin the celebration of America 250, which is the semiquincentennial. I had to practice hard to say that. And we're very excited about, trying to find more grants and working hard to come up with what we need. This is a picture of our executive committee. I'm sure you recognize a lot of those people. The gentleman in the front in blue is the director of our College Station Parks and Recreation Department, and he was there with us when we were presenting to the College Station City Council. Just in summary, there's so very many people and organizations that have been behind this project, and they're so dedicated. They've been working so hard, and we're hoping that everyone will help to make this special memorial available for well, everybody in the Brazos Valley. And I would like to read to you very quickly, because I can't see that over there, the words of the Society of the Honor Guard, Tomb of the Unknown Soldiers. Quote, "This project is a nationwide invitation to all Americans and freedom-loving people to plant gardens as a visual way to represent unwavering commitment to our sacred duty to recognize, remember, and honor our veterans and their families now and for many years to come." We just want to express our appreciation for you all, for your time and your possible support. We hope that this community-sponsored Veterans Memorial will become a reality sooner than later. Thank you so much. Oh, do you have any questions?
The Brazos Valley Veterans Memorial Group, have they supported this?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, they have contributed already. We made a presentation to the BVVM board right in the very beginning, and they're the ones who worked with us to select the site. And oh yes,
Are you using their 501c3?
we're using the community foundation.
And I'm,
Because we're all volunteers. La Vida chapter approved it a year ago. La Vida DAR approved it a year ago. But as our funding increased, we worked with the community foundation to be sure we met all the tax requirements.
and I can appreciate the Daughters of the Revolution supporting you, but my concern is I didn't find anything online. You know, you have no presence, but I'm so glad the treasurer mentioned that someone is assisting you with that.
Yes, ma'am. Patricia Gerling.
Yes,
She's the president of CFBV.
And she's also allowing you to use her 501c3.
Yes, ma'am. She will be taking every donation, no matter how much it is.
She receives the money.
Yes, ma'am. And then we'll write the tax letter for people.
So help me understand. I know, and I am a part of the Brazos Valley Veterans Memorial
Board.
Park Board.
Yes, ma'am.
Why was it, or is it necessary in your mind for us to have another garden facing the garden that we already have?
In my mind, there's a lot of statues that I absolutely love. There are many monuments. There are no gardens. And I think
so
this...
you would only be the garden part of the park?
Yes,
Is that
ma'am.
the
Yes,
way
ma'am. It'd
that
be
it's
the
going?
kind of the introduction to the park. And
Okay.
it will be a 7-foot monument.
Well, it's very interesting. I recognize the entrance because I have volunteered years for the recognition of memorial, and the 9/11 memorial is one of my favorite, and I actually fell and broke my wrist in that one, so that's interesting. But the thing is, your sole purpose is going to be to recognize Vietnam?
No, ma'am. Every veteran from every war, from the Revolutionary War all of the way up through.
Okay, that's what I wasn't understanding, because the board that we already have does that. How are you going to do it differently? Are you just saying that the flower, the area you have is going to be a garden?
There's a garden of flowers and plants surrounding this plaza.
Okay.
And then there is a 7-foot monument.
Yes,
And a
I get
star, and then the pedestals. And the memorial itself is wonderful. And I think you may not have been there when we did our presentation.
No.
I'm sorry.
I was out ill. I had a stroke.
Oh,
But
I'm so
listen,
sorry. But I do want to say one thing, though. The BVVM board is the one, I'm sure, that has gotten this virtual tour established, and they also have put a link on their website about the Never Forget Garden. So I feel like we have their full support.
Yes, we
Okay.
met with them.
Oh, a long
I
time
know
ago, January.
years ago, we have the virtual garden or video is a project for that board. I understand. But I'm trying to understand your part. Your concern is that the garden, you're only gonna put together the garden? Is that where?
There are 17 water sites in the facility.
Yes.
Representing all of the wards.
Yes,
during American-
that's the
but
project of the park board that I serve on.
This Never Forget Garden will recognize all of the unknown soldiers who fell where they died, where they fell,
Uh-huh.
who were in mass graves. So
Mhm.
this will be a way for Brazos Valley and all of our veterans
To acknowledge
remember them.
unknown soldiers.
Yes.
Right.
Okay. You're not saying you're gonna moralize the veterans that they're already, or we're already.
Yes,
or-
they're on the
Right.
Wall of Honor.
Yes.
These-
Right.
So
Think-
you're just be a garden.
Commissioner, the way I think of it is
Please.
we've got the wall where we can recognize the identities of those who we know that people in the community can and do and always have. And you
Yes.
can add to this. But what this is about is in commemorating the 100th anniversary of Arlington's Tomb of the Unknown. What this is about is it's about all those people whose names we don't have. And they are numerous and significant, and this is a way to incorporate into what's already a very fine memorial out there. I think, 41, George Herbert Walker Bush described it as the best Veterans Memorial outside of Washington, D.C. when
And
he
I
talked
agree.
about it. And it's been a lot of work. This is just an additional part of that, and you have a group of folks with the Daughters of the American Revolution, Sons of the American Revolution, and some others who wanted to add to what's already there. And this is about the names of the people we don't have that we can't put on that wall. To me,
Well, that is well, and I do understand. I was just really trying to put in place in my mind how it was gonna work together. It's not, you're a project just out there, but you have a specific purpose.
Yes, ma'am.
And once you've gotten your memorial, would I think, do I suspect that your duties will be over?
Basically,
go
that's
on?
true. Basically, that's true. This is a short-term project.
Okay.
It's
We
not
have
something that
several
goes
garden
on.
groups that will do a 5-year follow-up, and Heather White has helped coordinate that. And
Wonderful.
to be sure that the garden always looks good.
Great.
Right. But it's supposed to be done by 2026, which is America's 250. We
Okay.
hope
Right.
before that, though.
Right.
A question. I know the Brazos Valley Veterans Memorial Group has a timeline for when they want particular sculptures done. Is this part of their timeline as well?
No, ma'am.
No,
No.
it's separate. It's a separate
We work
project.
closely with Steve Beachy, who's advisor to the president of the board. We met with the board once and presented the project, and they're supporting it.
Uh-huh. Okay.
But they're not adding it to their list.
No, ma'am.
No.
It's separate.
It's a separate project, and that's what I was trying to put, picture in my mind. But,
We understand that they are planning at least 4 more statues, and
Yes,
they
there's-
they didn't need to add a garden to theirs, but they were wonderfully welcoming to have us take on that project also.
and I can see that it would work.
When we did Rosie the Riveter, it was funded through them.
Yes.
But since they had some other projects going on, they asked that we fund it separately, and that's why we went to the community
Yes.
to help make sure we get this right.
Okay.
To confirm, this is a one-time request. You don't have to maintain the garden. We're not gonna be on your list every year. It's one time.
We hope so.
Right. We,
My goal is, let's get our funds raised this year, the grant for the plants, we need to do something in January. Heather says we can probably get an extension on that, but it won't be that much extension, so. We wanna,
we hope it's only 1 year. It won't be
Alright.
too many though.
Well,
and the other thing is, traditionally, Brazos County, Bryan, and College Station support events in the park, so we want your name on that pedestal as having supported this. And
Well-
that's why we were asking for the 10,000.
As a Stars and Stripes supporter. As a Stars and Stripes supporter.
The 10,000 stars and stripes.
Okay, yeah, don't have
On
it in
your-
front of me right now. Yes,
Okay,
it's
so
5, 10,
that's-
25, and 40.
That's the, okay.
There we go, yes.
All right. Well, thank you all.
Yeah,
And,
Thank you.
I appreciate your thoughtfulness.
appreciate your work.
Thank you. North Bryan Community Center.
Move this up. I'd like to say good evening to you all. Can you hear me?
No.
No, speaking to the mic.
Okay.
Thank you
Is that better?
much.
My name is Maddie Carter. I am.
Still can't hear you.
Still can't hear me?
Closer.
Okay.
She's
Get closer.
Okay.
soft-spoken.
Is that better?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's much better.
My name is Maddie Carter. I am a retired postmaster, and I am here representing the North Bryan Community Center. And I want to thank the commissioner for allowing me to speak to you at this time. And the reason why I'm here is because the North Bryan Community Center is in dire need of some renovation to our building. And this is our first time requesting any money from the commission. And we are hoping that we can get your support because we serve a lot of underprivileged children in the North Bryan community area. We're located at 705 North Houston, and that's right across the street from the African American Museum. Our building is 32 years old, and it's in dire need of some major repairs. And we also have 2 vehicles, 2 vans that we use to pick the kids up after school, and during the summer months we provide cultural activities for them to attend. And so one of the vans' air conditioner is broke, and with 104 temperature right now, we're kind of in a bad shape right now. So if anybody want to volunteer money to get the AC fixed, we would greatly appreciate it. Okay, the North Bryan Community Center, like I say, has been there since 1990. It was formed by a group of ladies in the community that saw a need for our children in the North Bryan Community Center area. We offer a safe place for them to come after school, and in the summer months we take care of them all day so their parents don't have to worry about them out on the street or doing drugs or getting into trouble. So we provide all that for them. Right now we have, we're offering, we have about between 75 and 100 kids that we serve. And we have 3 employees there that help take care of these kids along with all of our volunteers. We have a lot of volunteers and we appreciate that. Our money in the past has come from, first of all, United Way. The last 2 years they've given us $10,000, and we have major fundraisers that we do every year, and we have donations from people in the community as well as churches and individuals that donate what we need. For instance, a retired teacher just donated a refrigerator for us. What we've done in the past is send out letters letting them know what the North Bryan Community Center is in need of. And that's how we have survived over the years. We're talking 32 years. And that building has not had the major upgrades that it needs. Computers, we did have computers donated in the past, but we're down to where we have to replace those. We have to replace those computers. Those computers are used by our kids to help with their homework in the evenings, and so that is the main reason why I'm here asking for the commission to help us out. The figures that I've given you, the salaries, and some of them is a two-year salary. But there are other things that we need there. The insurance on 2 vans, we definitely have to have the highest amount of insurance on our vans just in case there's an accident with these children. So we have to have the maximum amount of insurance on those vans. Our STEM program, this is a new program that we're trying to get into. We are talking with some students out at Texas A&M who's going to do this, but it's not free. It costs $50 per person, per child, to do the STEM program, and most of our parents cannot afford that. And we only charge $50 per child per year. So therefore, we are in need of finances to help do all this. We think the STEM program will really help our children because a lot of them have not been afforded the opportunity to be involved with the STEM program, and I'm sure everybody know what the STEM program is, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. Science, technology, electronics, math. And so we feel like this is a new venture for us, and we're really excited about it, and we really want to implement this in the fall. Can't think of anything else right now.
While
I'm sorry.
Ms. Carter is getting her thoughts,
Okay.
I need to say
Go ahead.
that I am and have been a member of this organization. So for just clarity and transparency, I know of and have worked with this organization and the late Mel Pruitt for actually a little over 40 years, but the
Mm-hmm.
building itself came about 32 years ago.
Okay, the center's programs are planned for the ultimate development of social, emotional, and physical skills and knowledge needed to succeed in today's changing society. The after-school care has been phenomenal in helping our children because we found out that some of our children, not all of them, are testing lower in math and science. And so our tutorial program has been a very important help for these children because we have volunteers from Texas A&M and retired teachers that come after school to help these kids, help to tutor these children. And so we want to make sure that that center stays there for many years to come. As you all know, the Boys and Girls Club moved across town. So a lot of our children who live in that area come to the center now. So our enrollment has increased because of it. Not that we, have a problem with the Boys and Girls Club moving, but because the center, the North Bryan Community Center, is right in the area where a lot of these children can walk there. But we also pick up some of the kids whose parents are not comfortable with them walking. And so therefore, the 2 vans that we have need repairs. And that's why I'm here, is to commission you to help us with this affair.
Ms. Carter?
Yes.
How many children do you have this summer?
This summer we had anywhere from 45 to 50 kids daily. During the school year, it goes up.
And you do this with 3 employees?
We're doing it right now with 3 employees.
And a lot of volunteers.
A lot of volunteers, including myself.
First online.
I don't get paid for none of this, and it's rewarding to see that our children are getting the help that they need. My children also came through the North Bryan Community Center, and both of them have gone on to graduate from Texas A&M. We have a lot of children who have gone on to higher grounds and became important adults in the neighborhood. And so I feel like it is a need for us to keep that center open. We need to keep it open because our kids need us. If we don't help our kids, who will help them?
You're right.
Ms. Carter, two comments and then a question.
Yes, sir.
One, I support the work that you're doing there, and thank you all for the work that you're doing. Secondly, whenever they listed the salaries